Hey everybody, Arcana Neon, obviously you know that because you're on my channel watching my video. Here with my cohort, Ninja Twig.
All day, bitch, all day.
Check out his channel, it's not as good as mine.
Fuck you.
But, before we get started, moment of silence for the victims of Colorado. It's a tragedy.
For the people of Colorado, we are sorry about what happened at your movie theater, the massacre. That was completely out of hand and it was completely wrong, and that guy should have everything that's coming to him.
Alright, so before we get started, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to try our best to keep it at a minimum, but
Don't trust us.
Don't trust us.
At all.
Not even a little bit. The whole focus of this video is to not only show off the finer points of Batman, but also to compare it to a movie that I feel has set the bar for all, not just superhero movies, action movies in general, the Avengers. Ninja Twig will be representing Batman, and I will be representing the Avengers. So, first we're going to go through each superhero and the Avengers and what we think about them versus Batman. Obviously, this isn't the comic book Avengers, this is just the movie Avengers. So, in the movie, Spider-Man excluded, you have Hawkeye, that's what they call him. Hawkeye, Hulk, Black Widow, ooh damn, almost said Wolverine. Yeah, we don't condone Wolverine here. But damn, Captain America and Iron Man and Thor. And Thor. Now, personally, the only good people on that team, I feel, are Hawkeye. As much as I dislike Hawkeye in the movie,
yeah,
because he played a good role. He did what he did best. He realized, hey, I'm not that great up close, and he got the hell out of Dodge and fucked some things up. So Hulk, because for the first time they actually played him right. You can't take a giant green guy in purple shorts seriously. They played him for jokes, and that was the good thing. I like that. So Hulk and Thor, and then that was about it. Black Widow, she did a good job. I don't condone her though. I mean, like she did a good job. She played the manipulative, like get inside your head like always, and that was good. But I wouldn't put her on the team. And how do you feel about everyone on the Avengers team?
I like your picks, for say, but I actually have some more. I actually like Hawkeye, and I like Iron Man. I like Iron Man because Tony Stark. I don't like Iron Man as the hero. I just like Tony Stark himself. He's the most badass person ever to hit the movie, or ever to hit comic books at that matter. Tony Stark is just the shit in every way, and everything he does, he is the shit. And who better to play him than Robert Downey Jr.? Because Robert Downey Jr. is the shit. With the Hulk is the one that made the whole movie, in my opinion. He was the only one putting out that much action and that much story, and he's the only one that went beast on everything. Like, really, I mean, yeah, you had Thor, and he had his brother Loki and their battles or whatever, but I mean, come on, Thor wasn't that good of a movie, to be honest. You know, they didn't really play that way too well. But, I mean, he had his moments with Loki. Yeah, I'll give you that. Black Widow was Black Widow. She was just like in any other movie that she was in. Hawkeye, I agree with you. He did his thing. He was great. He went above standards for whoever, you know, thought of him as a bitch or something like that, or a little pansy. Stupid bitch. But, yeah, Hulk, overall of the heroes, Hulk was the one that went beast mode on that movie the whole time. So, that's all I have to say on that one.
It's a very, very valid point. Now, that being said, Batman. Now, Batman in this movie is, in my opinion, very different from the Batman and Dark Knight. Yes. Yeah. Now, with this movie, and a point that I'm going to get into later, you really get inside of him. You really start to understand Bruce Wayne himself after the events that have taken course over over this amount of time between the Joker mishap and, well, the Harvey Dent mishap.
You know, that's the good thing about trilogies, is that always in the third and last installment of a trilogy, they always go back to when, you know, everything happened and how it happened. And with The Dark Knight Rises, they went back and they went completely back and they went through detail with everything that happened to everybody. Not just Batman. I mean, it was with Catwoman and it was with Bane. It was with, who we now know is Robin. It was perfect. It was great. And I think they did a really good job with directing the backstories and everything.
And I agree with that full-heartedly. I personally feel like this Batman in this movie was definitely more entertaining as far as terms of actually understanding a billionaire that has nothing better to do but use all his money on fighting crime.
Now, getting back to the comparisons, we just compared the heroes and villains of Avengers. How do you feel about the heroes and the villains of The Dark Knight Rises?
I would have to say, hero-wise, Dark Knight Rises, Batman, obviously, and I forget the cop guy's name, but I probably should.
I mean, he's Robin.
Yeah,
everybody.
it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert. He's Robin.
It's too late now. So yeah, it's Robin. They did the damn thing, especially Robin. I've never been so proud to say. I actually, that's the first time I've ever said I've been proud of Robin.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that turned out to be pretty great. That being said, the villain Bane, I personally do not agree with. He was okay. He was okay, and you know, Catwoman with her consistent, and that's the thing that's consistent in all like superhero movies. The woman is always a conniving, like backstabber-esque traitor type character. I'll be offended if I had titties. I personally, I mean, I wouldn't condone that shit. But they did a good job. But I personally, I would have preferred to see all of them. I would have liked to seen cameos, and then you could have Bane as the top. I would be okay with that. But instead, you put Scarecrow and
bitch ass nigger is what I should say. I'm sorry, Scarecrow is a stupid villain. He's always been a stupid villain. He's like the Scarecrow off the Goosebumps book. I mean, it's no point in having him there. And even in The Dark Knight Rises, it was no point in him having him there at all. He was just I don't even want to talk about it. It was just stupid.
I agree.
But okay, now you said Bane was okay. Or say, why would you say he's okay? Would you say that like overall villain Bane is okay, or would you say just Tom Hardy acting as Bane okay?
Okay, Tom Hardy did the damn thing. Tom Hardy acted the piss out of. He took what he was given and ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, with Bane, you can only run so far.
This is true. We've seen in the previous Batman movies, Bane came out with was it the Tim Burton movie?
Yeah, with Poison Ivy
and Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney being Batman. Bane, he didn't talk. That's one. He didn't talk, and just like in the comics, he doesn't talk in the comics at all. He's actually like a pet, used to just beat the living shit out of everybody. But see, I like this Bane that the directors and producers of The Dark Knight Rises produced, because he talks and he becomes like an actual villain, like an actual key to, you know, destroying the city. He's like the main key of destroying the city of Gotham. And I think it's perfect because I would never have thought Bane to be somebody of that high caliber to actually bring about a nuclear war to Gotham City. I always thought of him as a pet, you know. Now, we've talked about this before, Aaron, but appearance-wise, yes. I'm sorry, Tom Hardy, he's a great actor, but Bane,
he bulked up. Not enough.
And
it happened in X-Men with the Juggernaut, and it happened in this. And every movie where there's supposed to be this massive guy, they always get a good actor. Don't get me wrong, they get a good actor, but they don't give him enough time to bulk up. If you're gonna have a guy that's gonna be the same size as the protagonists, at least let him bulk up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Batman is supposed to be getting dwarfed by Bane, and here they are, like almost eye to eye.
That first battle scene though, that first fight scene when they first met, he did get his ass whooped.
Yeah,
Batman,
and I like that. I like that.
I mean, Bane just whooped his ass. He just sat there and took the punches like it wasn't nothing, which is good because that's what Bane does.
Pounder.
You can beat his ass all you want, but he ain't gonna get any hits off.
Solomon Grundy.
Exactly, right? Now, another thing with the backstories, like I said before, they went way back in the backstories. There is a twist at the end of this movie that is ridiculous. I'll get on that later on. But Bane becomes even more of my favorite character. Like right now, he's my favorite character of the whole Batman trilogy, the whole Dark Knight trilogy. Bane is my favorite character. Joker was there, but he's number 2 now. He's number 2. Bane is number 1 all day, every day.
I would put them on the same level. I would put them on the same level and either give Joker the advantage, just because of the way that they repackaged him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, with Bane, like I like the fact that they repackaged him as a child molester, but but I mean, with the Joker, you just it's just such an iconic character. And I mean,
he is the more thought of character when you think of Batman. You have made a good point on that. When you think of Batman, you think of Joker or Riddler or Two-Face, which is
Mr. Penguin if you're anything like.
Oh, Mr. Penguin, yeah, Mr. Penguin was a great one.
I love Mr. Penguin.
I mean, and who knows? Another spoiler alert, but there may be a Robin movie coming out.
Hopefully, dear God.
There was a cliffhanger at the end of The Dark Knight Rises.
No, we're not gonna get too far.
I'm not gonna get too far into that one, but just saying, be prepared to get your minds blown.
It will happen.
It's gonna happen. So,
but okay, so now we're on to the next topic. All around movie, what exactly did it for him? What exactly did it for me? And the Avengers, what we hated and what we liked about it, and The Dark Knight Rises, what we hated and what we liked about it. So, since you don't like the Avengers as much, what was good in the Avengers and what was bad in the Avengers?
What was good in the Avengers? I would have to say the action sequences were good. CGI was perfect. Acting could have been a little better, I think, especially interacting between the two, all the heroes. I think it could have been done a little better, but then again, Avengers 2 is going to be coming out, so I mean, who knows? It may add on or whatever.
With a better villain.
With a better villain.
Thanos.
Exactly.
Yeah. I forget how to pronounce the name all the time.
But supposedly there will be a better villain in Avengers 2. But overall movie though, I can't say that Avengers is one of my favorites. It was kind of a big letdown to me. Like I said before, the Hulk was the only main character that I saw in there that actually went beast mode with his part. I mean, of course you got Tony Stark, but I mean, Tony Stark is Tony Stark. Black Widow tried. She tried. Hawkeye, I mean, you can't really do too much with that character. He didn't even last that long in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you got Thor and Captain America, but
who cares? Who cares?
The only reason Thor was even relevant was because Loki was his brother, to be honest. And I think that's like the only reason they put him in the Avengers in the first place, because oh, Loki's your brother, let's go kick his ass. So that's how I feel about that movie. Okay. Definitely not one of my favorites, but good for what they tried to do.
Okay. Now, for me personally, I pretty much loved everything about the Avengers. The thing that really did it for me is just the fact that after it was done, I had realized that I had been on the edge of my seat the entire time. If the action was continuous, there wasn't a, like, ever since, at the point where Black Widow goes to get the Hulk, that from there on out, I was just completely entertained. Now, the starting up minutes, slow as piss. Like, if you were going to give up on a movie, it would definitely be between the beginning and the first, like, 10 minutes. But everything after that, it pretty much just enthralled me into the story. I was like, oh, Iron Man, come on, you got to get out of there. Captain America has to tie his shoelaces. Blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth. The only thing I really didn't like about the Avengers, of course, was would be Loki being the main villain. Because, I mean, Thor can beat him by himself in his own movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like, this is just a movies, but I will say, comic book reference. Loki is not that great. He just runs around playing tricks, mischievous tricks.
Exactly. I think, like, for Loki, they just make him drink some Edward Cullen juice or something like that and made him all depressing and whatnot. Yeah. It's just, I didn't like Loki, for real.
Well, I mean, I kind of see what they tried to do by getting Thanos to like wrap in with Loki, and Loki was supposedly this big pawn, but it wasn't good enough. They didn't spend nearly enough time on it, in my opinion. Other than that, that would have to be it. So, with that being said, Batman Dark Knight Rises, what did it for you and what did it for me and what did it for me and didn't do it for me?
What did it for me was the whole movie. It was great. It was the perfect balance of action, drama, and your little bit of funny. They did great. Like, I love trilogies because they always save the third one and the best for last. And prime example was the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight Rises is one of the biggest Batman movies ever to hit theaters. It surpassed the first and second one by far. It's great, and they ended it ended it perfectly.
Quotes.
Quote, ended it very perfectly. I loved every single minute of it. The action, I love the villains, and to be honest, it surpassed all my expectations for it, because when it first came out, when I saw the previews, I wasn't looking too forward to it, because I didn't fall in love with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I didn't fall in love with those movies, so I didn't think that the third one would be any better. Totally surpassed my expectations, mainly because Anne Hathaway and Tom Hardy, two of the people that I would not suspect to take on roles like this, took on the role and went beast mode with them. They totally took charge of that role, and I felt it from them. I loved every minute of it. I think those are the two characters that actually made it for me. It was Catwoman and Bane. It was great seeing those two. Perfect. I have no negative points on it besides the original, the usual. I hate Batman's voice when he goes into his own...
when he goes into throat cancer.
It's the most annoying shit ever, but other than that, it was great to me. It was just perfect.
I liked everything about the movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I would pay to see it again. But the things that really didn't do, like you said, I loved Anne Hathaway especially. That one scene with the motorcycle. But
she got ass, yo.
All that ass.
She got that ass.
But I mean, I was expecting more, because like I said in my book, the Avengers set the bar. It is officially in my book the epitome of what every action movie should aim for. And in this movie, like I said, it really focused more on the finer points, the more emotional points, the more drama. Now, suspense. There was, to me, no suspense at all during the Avengers. Because even when everything was falling apart, I knew that the Avengers would pull it all together. But the way that this one was going, the entire time, the consistent M. Night Shyamalan's going on.
What he twist?
It was very suspenseful. It's one of the most suspenseful things I've ever seen. And I love that, but at the same time, it really wasn't what I was looking for in the movie. I went into Batman expecting more action, I guess.
Well, okay, now when you say this, you say Avengers is an action movie, and to be honest, it is an action movie. It's an action hero movie or whatever, but you can't pretty much put action as a label for the Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight trilogy, they're taking a different view on Batman altogether. You knew that from Batman Begins.
That's true.
It's a different view. The director said he wanted to do a darker Batman and less action, more story-wise. I think, in my opinion, he was trying to do more story than he did action. And I mean, when you think of action, you don't really think of Batman either. Dude, I'm sorry.
Well, it depends.
You don't really think of Batman. You think of somebody like Deadpool, which, by the way, his game is coming out pretty soon. Everybody, I hope you all get that. But you think of Deadpool, you think of X-Men, you think of Avengers, you think, action heroes. You don't put Batman in action heroes. He may have his Legos or whatever, but he does not become an action hero.
I will give you that. That is a very fine point. I wish that there were more than just 3, 4 fight scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I understand Batman is,
Now, you say you wish there was more fight scenes or whatever, but of the 3 and 4 that were in the movie, how did they stand up, though?
I would give the Batman versus Bane, the first one, a lot of credit. That was probably my favorite one. That was the one that stood out.
Yeah.
All the other ones, not so much. They were very... I guess they were too clustered. Yeah. I mean, obviously in the war it's supposed to be clustered. I'm not even talking about that one. But I mean, the other ones, it just seems like your brain was already, in my opinion, your brain would already be somewhere else. So you're just like watching these guys fight and there's no build in it, I guess. So... I don't know. The Batman versus Bane fight though, that was build. It was like, okay, they're going in there, they're gonna fuck some shit up, and then what happens happens.
Yeah.
And yeah. Other than that though, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah. I wouldn't give it a 9 out of 10. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I've yet to see a movie or it'll go above an 8. But my best will always be an 8 out of 10. And Dark Knight Rises is definitely an 8 out of 10 for me. But I mean, some people 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, whatever. But there's still yet to be a movie that's a 9 to a 10 out of me. So,
but
close. No,
yeah,
not
close. Very
it's
close.
Very close. Like it's on the tip.
Yeah.
Very close. That's all I have to say on the matter of Avengers versus The Dark Knight Rises.
I believe I've made all my points as well. You and I and the viewer can agree on one thing. The Marvel Knights needs to be created.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Put Daredevil in there. You've repackaged every other superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Why not Daredevil? Hop on it.
Let's get some Ultimate Alliance up in this bitch.
Let's get it going. Get it going.
Let's get an Ultimate Alliance movie in this hoe. Because you guys clearly have the technology and you have the actors to do it. You just need to pull through and go with it.
Yes.
Because I think we speak for everybody when we say we want more.
Yes. And make your damn villains better.
Yes.
Put some more focus on it.
What's wrong with y'all? Damn. Stupid ass. Oh, okay.
Till next time.
Till next time, everybody.
So you want to start?
We starting now.
Okay. Hey everybody, what's up? Arcane Neon.
Girl.
Mm.
Let me just put it on vibrate. I'm so sorry.
It's so unprofessional.
Hey. Now hold on.
You suck.
Shut up.
All right. First topic. All around good movie. What do you think of Batman?
All around good movie. Yeah.
Aaron,
Yeah.
I think you go give me some ice.
All right. Every time. Every time. Every time. All right. So you want to start?
We starting now.
Okay. Hey everybody, what's up? Arcane Neon.
Girl.
Mm.
Let me just put it on vibrate. I'm so sorry.
It's so unprofessional.
Hey. Now hold on.
You suck.
Shut up.